Mortal Kombat in 5 minutes. Sort of. Everything you need to know about the story so far. Spoiler alert. Contrary to what you might think, the fate of the universe is decided through a series of fights between monsters, ninjas, and wizards. This stuff's been going on for thousands of years, but things are heating up. This guy Shao Kahn runs the Outworld, but he wants to rule Earth too. So he sends his personal assistant Shang Tsung to enter a fighting tournament that'll determine its fate. Anyone who's anyone shows up. Sonya, the big-breasted military girl, Goro, the 2,000-year-old half-dragon who totally doesn't look like a dragon at all, Kano, who sucks, Sub-Zero, who shoots ice and has a weird little brother, Reptile, who looks a lot like Scorpion, Johnny Cage, who's pretty much Jean-Claude Van Damme without the accent, and a bunch of other pissed-off dudes. Including Raiden, who looks evil but actually isn't. He wears a frisbee for a hat and is super annoying. Fighting on behalf of Earth is Liu Kang. He yells a lot and acts like Bruce Lee. Things get messy when the fighting starts. Scorpion kills Sub-Zero because he thinks he killed his family, Sonya hates Kano, and Goro pounds his chest a lot. They all rip each other's spines out and throw each other onto spikes until only Liu Kang is left standing. Shang Tsung crawls back to Shao Kahn. He's really sorry he's lost, but he's like, hey, this was dumb. We should have just done this on our own turf so you can just kick everyone's ass yourself. But Liu Kang wins again, and Shao Kahn gets super pissed. He wants to vent to his wife Sindel, but she's dead, so Shang Tsung helps him resurrect her. But when Shao Kahn goes to give her a hug, it nearly destroys the Earth and ends up merging it with the Outworld somehow. Raiden manages to save some of his favorite bros, along with some new fighters like a cop and some robots. Everyone turns each other into babies, and Liu Kang wins again. Then this evil sorcerer named Quan Chi shows up. He's got this amulet that the original Sub-Zero stole for him back when he wasn't dead. He teams up with the elder god Shinnok, who thinks he has the amulet, but it's a fake. Liu Kang kills Shinnok, and Scorpion defeats Sub-Zero, thinking this new one also killed his family somehow. After getting his ass semi-eternally kicked by Scorpion, Quan Chi escapes and teams up with Shang Tsung to kill Shao Kahn, who, let's face it, wasn't really getting the job done anyway. Liu Kang finally bites it, although he gets resurrected later to fight Superman, but that's a different story. Raiden gets everybody together for another tournament. They're scared of this thing called Onaga, which sounds like sushi, but it's really a dragon. While everyone's pulling each other's heads off and peeling off people's skin, Reptile finds this magical egg that somehow turns him into Onaga. Raiden decides to kill it by blowing himself up, which seems short-sighted and doesn't really work anyway. While everyone figures out what to do about the giant dragon, these hybrid evil guys called Tarkatans start sparring with these Edenian people and the entire Outworld gets violent. Luckily, this dude Shujinko is around to fix things by absorbing people's powers. He kills Onaga, and his buddy Nightwolf the Native American sends him back to the Netherrealm with his mystical powers. Realizing that all this has gotten way ridiculous, the Elder Gods look down and are like, hey, what's the point of having all these tournaments to decide the fate of the universe? It's ripping apart reality, and all these brothers and lizards and cyborgs are fighting each other to the death and turning each other into animals and jumping rope, and for what, really? So they do the only logical thing. They build a giant pyramid in a hollowed-out crater and put this humongous fire god, Blaze, on top of it to kill a bunch of people. So this guy Taven fights a bunch of dudes and kills Blaze, which theoretically should kill all the fighters or make them powerless. But instead, everyone becomes more powerful, and Armageddon is unleashed, and everyone freaks out. Meanwhile, Raiden has somehow resurrected himself and is really pissed at the gods for making things even worse, so he sends a mental message back in time to his earlier self, reminding himself to tell the gods that this could all be avoided. Young Raiden interprets this message as, let's do this whole thing all over again.